All right. Thank you, everybody, again for joining me the Monday after Easter here, the 13th of April, 2020. Depending on who's here and your background and how much investigation you've done, I always do the same sort of worldwide salutations for all the arts, no matter, like right now I'm about to go into a Chinese martial art that has its own salutation, but I like to do the bow in and the bow out using what I was showing in the kids class, no matter what subject area I'm teaching in. Not necessarily because I'm going to mix things or blend things, but just because, I still consider Sifu Guru Dan Inosanto my primary martial arts influence. And as the gentleman kind of carrying on the legacy of Bruce Lee and being responsible for the popularity of so many different martial arts from all over the world, I just like this tradition of doing all the salutations, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. So Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian, French and Dog Brothers, and Japanese. Okay, so we want to put some energy into our Yiji Kiyama, and so this stance right now, let's make sure everybody's on the same page. Bend your knees slightly, feet together, open your toes and open your heels. And we want this sort of purposefully pigeon-toed stance. Once we get here, we want to lean our weight back a little bit. And, this is the Wing Chun equivalent of the horse stance. And everybody, of course, all the naysayers, well, you're going to get kicked in the groin. It's not a fighting posture. It's a training posture. Just like if you're doing, sorry, everybody, it's still a working household. Just like if you're doing horse stance in traditional karate, it's a training posture. So let's make sure we have that posture. And bring your hands up, and I want you to just nice and slow start to work on your chain punches or your battle punches or your straight blast or your jik chun choi. Those are synonyms for the same thing. And the visual that I really want you to have, I'm going to turn to the side. Can you guys close that door, please? Sorry, the visual I really want you all to have is the chain in a bicycle and how everything is in line. And I mean, it's not the perfect visual, but if you think about the chain in the bicycle, it's going end over end as you're riding that bicycle. And that's what we really want to have here. And, I have a good group here in front of me. I don't think I have anybody I have to convince. What I really like to say about Wing Chun is going to give you incredible refinement to any previous martial arts training that you might have had. And what if you don't have other martial arts training? It is going to give you just refined attributes, enhanced reflexes, structure all day long, and the ability to dominate center line and a center line awareness that's going to serve you well. So once again, make sure you have taken the time. Feet together, bend at the knees a little bit, open your toes, open your heels, hands up, sink into this posture. Get your battle punches going. I know mine are off camera, but I'm doing them, okay? I'll change the angle in a second. And just keep that going for a second. No body rotation, none whatsoever. Just right down center line. And if you have prior training, that's what can be frustrating, is you want to use that rotation and all your body mechanics and that's part of the refinement. Okay, time. That looks beautiful. Great job. So hold that posture, hands up, put your left hand in front of your right hand, shift to your left, fire 3 punches, right, left, right. Open your right hand, go to center, left, right, left, open up, left hand's in the lead. Go to your right, right, left, right, open, center, 1, 2, 3, open, left, 1, 2, 3, open, center. That's going to be the whole drill. Use your center line, which you're defining with that lead hand. I'm defining my center line. Fire 3 shots right down center line. Okay, treat this like a mini form. Let me see, for those who have their video on, there's no problem if you don't want to turn your video on. Let me just take a look at how we're doing. Gorgeous. All right, time. That looks fantastic. So let's get a little, that's got kind of a nice little warm-up energy. Let's add to this a little bit and just kind of warming up lightly with some Wing Chun motion. So pick a foot, balance on that foot, bring your hands up. And if you lose your balance, like I just did, don't feel too bad about it, especially on these mats. On my hardwood floors, I was so good a few minutes ago. Okay, we're gonna fire 3 shots and we're gonna count each rep. So just go 10 on 1 foot on your own. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you've done 10, take a moment, shake it out, switch sides. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you lose your balance, don't get too down on yourself. 8, 9, 10. Haven't done those in a long time on these mats, but there you go. So I got to practice too. Beautiful. Everybody looks great. Okay. I want to go into the first form, and then I'm going to bring my wife in, and we're going to, again, my goal for everybody this week, this class, is to go down the line and give you the entirety of my instructor's yellow belt requirements. And my Wing Chun instructor is Sifu Francis Fong. I'm okay. Everybody's okay. Don't worry about it. That's a problem with having a living room academy here. It's okay. You're okay. We're good. Okay. And Sifu Francis Fong. Sifu Fong is out of Johns Creek, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta, from the Juwan lineage. And in a few minutes. Okay. So my goal, I'm sorry about that and that ruckus there. My goal again, to go through the entirety of the yellow belt requirements. We've already started with the first exercises. Like I said, I'll bring my wife in a few minutes. We'll go over the partnered exercises, but I want to spend some time on the first form, Selim Tao, little imagination. So super quick. There is, once we get into that posture that we were just working, kind of our Yujikiyama or mother stance posture, there's no footwork. This is all about developing structure. There are 3 sessions or sections. Each session has a theme, and we'll talk about that. Because of how much time I have with you, I'll try to be thorough and be brisk at the same time, if that's possible. So we are going to start with our hands at our side. We're completely relaxed. Our hands are going to rise up. We're going to pull them in. We are not touching our ribs. I'm leaving space here. So not touching, I'm leaving a little bit of room. Get into that posture that we just explored. Cross your left hand on top of your right hand. Bring your hands up so your right hand is in front of your left hand and return to this posture. Very nice. Load your left chung choi on your center line, but you want your knuckles pointed towards the floor until you execute this punch. Then here's your tan sao, showing hand, palm up. No tension in these 4 fingers, just tension in your thumb. You're gonna circle that clockwise and bring it back in. As that happens, your right chung choi should load, and it's gonna repeat that motion. You execute that punch, here's your tan sao, circles all the way and comes in. Now, as you do that, your left tan sao is gonna come out, and this is actually here now, we're ready to start the form. That was the opening. That's gonna be the same opening when we learn Chum Q, which is the second form, but that's the opening. Before we, relax for a second. So before we get into the first form, let's just run the opening and make sure we have it. So hands at your side, hands rise up, come to your sides, bend a little bit at the knees, get into your posture. Left hand on top, bring them up, right hand in front, return. Arm the left chung choi, knuckles at the floor until you punch. Tan sao, hun sao, sao kun. It comes in. As it comes in, right chung choi preps, knuckles towards the floor until you execute. And that's going to repeat. As that comes in, the left tan sao comes out. And we're into session 1. Okay, so session 1. The theme of session 1 is channeling your internal energy. And all I want you to do for the entirety of your Wing Chun career, anytime you do Silam Tao, here is the visualization. In your navel or your belly button area, there is a ribbon of energy, and it is connected to the middle finger, the tip of the middle finger of whichever hand is doing the movements in session 1, okay? So we're gonna hun sao to wu sao, and that ribbon of energy is gonna start to bring my hand in. When I get about this far, if we use the hang loose to measure, just about that far from my navel, I'm gonna drop this into Fuk sao. Now the ribbon of energy at my navel is pushing this back out, and this is just gonna come back out into another wu sao, okay? And then the ribbon of energy pulls it in again, and that's 2 Fuk saos. It pushes it back out, and that's the idea, and that's the visualization. So let's do that again. As the right hand finished and came in from the opening, the left hand comes out. Hun, in, Fuk, back out. 2, and 3. Okay, Pak sao, bring it back. Jik jern, tan sao, hun sao, and sao kun. Retract it. As it comes in, the right hand tan sao comes out, and we're ready to repeat that sequence. 1. Now, if you do 3 or 4, like your mind wanders, it's okay. And I'm going a little faster with this session than would, I'm gonna do one more, right? Than would be traditionally taught. Pak, Jik jern, tan sao, hun sao, sao kun. Okay? And that's session 1. Session 1 would normally, traditionally, might happen. Even here, I'm going a little bit fast. But again, the visualization is what's really important for the life of your Wing Chun career. I've said this on previous classes, and I'll say this again super quickly. In my personal background, one of my parents is an ex-hippie, very new agey, open to all kinds of things, and very open-minded. One of my other parent is an atheist and an empiricist and a skeptical inquirer type. So I have both in my background, both. I have a parent very open to stuff, and I have a parent who's always taking that skeptical inquirer lens. In my 15 years of training with Sifu Francis Fong, Sifu has done things that, to me, that I have no explanation for, okay? And all I would say, if the two extremes are you're gonna believe in chi and the power of chi, and the other extreme is you think there is no chi and it's just simple physics, or anything in between, all I'm asking of you is for the entirety of your Wing Chun career, when you do session 1, there's a ribbon of energy sucking this in and pushing this out, sucking this in and pushing this out, sucking this in and pushing this out until I terminate on that side. That's the visualization. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking you to believe in chi. I'm not asking you to make a decision if it's physics. That's me as your instructor right now. That's all I'm asking of you. Whenever you do Selim Tao for the rest of your life, that's the visualization. I have a ribbon of energy right around my navel. That ribbon of energy is connected. I like, again, the tip of my middle finger, pulling it in, pushing it out, pulling it in, pushing it out. And that's really what we're looking for, okay? So we just, the right hand, 1, 2, 3, the right hand just finished session 1. Here we go now, session 2. Left hand pushes down at your side. Right hand pushes down on your side. Bring your arms up behind you so the backs of your wrists are touching like where your kidneys are, pushing down. So again, let me change the angle a little bit. This isn't completely ideal. Left hand, right hand, arm this, push back. Push in front of you. Left hand on top for this Lan Sao. Open, double Sat Sao, bring it back, right hand on top. Come drop into this, double palm up, pushing down with the heels of your hands slightly into the eyes, pushing down lower than before, hands come up, and we're done. So 1, left hand, 2, right hand, 3, both hands, 4, both hands, left hand on top, open, bring it back, right hand on top, open out, double palm up, push down slightly with the heels of your hands into the eyes, pushing down lower, bringing those hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left is on top, 6, 7, right is on top, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Very nice. Okay, so that's session 2. The theme of session 2 is escape from grabs. That is, escape from grabs. Some other class, when we have time, I will show you some applications and some exercises that you might start to play with that will further enhance your understanding of the benefits of this art. Okay, session 3, multiple strikes with the same hand. Left hand goes first, bring it back into my Wandern here. Circle, and that hand is done. 1, 2, 3. circle, and that hand is done. Left Tan Sao comes out, Gan Sao goes low, back to Tan Sao, circles, palms, low palm strike, bring it back up, Hun Sao, Sao Kun. That hand is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Circle, and that hand is done. Bong Sao, left. Tan Sao, Wanjern. Circle it, done. Right hand. Bong, Tan, Wanjern. Circle, bring it back. Left hand, palm down. Right hand wipes it. Switch. 2, switch. 3. Right hand holds this line. 3 battle punches. Tan Sao, Hun Sao, Sao Kun. Right foot meets the left foot, and I'm done. Okay, and I know that's a lot, and I know it's all getting recorded. This is all gonna be added, so we can go over it. So I know the one that got the least amount of attention was session 3. So let's put a few minutes into that, and then let's get to our partner drills so that you have everything for yellow belt, okay? So left hand starts, 1, 2, 3. Circles, and it's finished. 1, 2, 3. Circles, and it's finished. The Tan Sao comes out left, goes low, returns to high, circles into this low palm strike, back to where it started. Circles and comes in. Now I'm just kind of giving you everything in English to at least to get a preliminary understanding. High, low, high, circle, low palm strike, back up, circle it, it's done. Left Bong Sao, Tan into this Wanjern. Or, so here's Bong Sao, if you're not familiar, I always say make a boomerang shape with your arm. Try to keep your fingers relaxed. Into this Tan Sao, into this strike. Hey, buddy, circle that and come in, okay? Left hand's gonna go palm down, palm up, right hand's gonna wipe it. Switch, wipe, switch. Right hand wipes, and I hold this line into 1, 2, 3 battle punches. My right hand comes back, Tan, Hun, Sao Kun. Right foot meets the left. I push down with both of my hands, and I finish the form, okay? What, I have about 20 minutes? Let's do the whole form together one time. And if this is fast for anybody, you know, I like Coach Eric Paulson's expression, you get the techniques you're ready for. So follow along and do whatever you retained. Let me just say this real quickly. Sometimes I have trouble not spitting out the Cantonese terms because that's my background, especially when I work with Sifu on this. I'm just going to try to stick to coaching you in English. And if any of the Cantonese pops out, I'm sorry, but I'll try to just explain everything in English so that we can get a handle on it. So feet together, hands relaxed at your side, hands are going to come up. Don't touch your ribs, sink down a little bit, open your toes, open your heels. Left hand on top, right hand in front, bring it back. Left knuckles start towards the floor, punch, showing hand, circle all the way until your palm out, bring it back. As that comes in, the right hand loads up to do the same movements. As that comes in, your left Tan Sao comes out, or showing hand. We circle this once, which is a change Sifu made a few years ago. We used to do full Hun Saos all the time. And I'm going between guarding hand and Wu Sao. I think that's resting hand. I'm forgetting. I've lost my count. So I know it's hard to, this gets pulled in and pushed out. Pulled in and pushed out. Pulled in and pushed out. As I've done maybe 3 or 4 of those, slapping hand, bring it back, vertical palm strike, showing hand, it circles, and that hand's done. Right hand's gonna repeat that sequence. 1, 2, again, the ribbon of energy is what I'm visualizing. 3, slapping hand, vertical palm strike, circle it in, and session 1 is done. Left hand, right hand, both hands, left is on top, open, right is on top. When I bring them back, palms facing, double palm up, push down with the heels of your hands into the eyes, push down lower, hands come up, session 2 is done. Session 3, 1, 2, 3, circle, left hand's done. 1, 2, 3, right hand's done. Tonsao comes out, showing hand, high, low, high, circle, low palm strike, back up, circle the hand, done. Right hand repeats that, low, high, circle, palm strike, up, circle, it's done. Left bong sao comes out, Tonsao, Wanjern. Tying up hand, showing hand, palm strike with the fingers sort of down diagonally. Left hand, palm down, right hand wipes it, palm up. Switch, switch, 3, hold this line with the right hand. 1, 2, 3, chain punches, bring the right hand back. Circle, right foot meets the left, push down. All right, so you'll have that. This is being recorded. Sorry, everybody, I'm kind of monitoring my phone. So just if people are having trouble getting on, okay. So I think we're good. So Jean, I'm gonna bring my wife in. We're going to go into the partner drills. Now there are differences, everybody, between the drill section. We're going to be approaching those with a partner, and I'll go over how you could train them at home by yourself, solo. But the drills, which we're going to start with, we're going to be in our traditional stance, which we started this lesson off examining. When we get into the trapping combinations, we're going to be in a right lead. So we're still Jean? Okay, so we're still working that traditional structure. So the Jutsao is going to start us off. Let me get us going while we're by ourselves, while I'm by myself, and then Jean will come out. So for all of these, except the last one, you need a partner who's just stationary firing their chain punches. And you're going to respond with the different hands of Wing Chun. The first one is going to be our Jutsao. It means jerking hand. The real focus is this sinking. And what I like to say is we're both training. Her job in a moment when she's feeding is to do what we were all doing together earlier in the class, trying to develop perfect chain punches, again, like the chain in a bicycle, going around and dominating center line. My job, if I'm the person doing the drill, is to nullify that straight blast with my Jutsao. That's the first variation. Jean? Okay, so that's the first variation, and we're going to get to that, in just a minute. If you want to try it, if you have a partner, that's great. So one person, I'll show it to you in just 1 second. That's it. And the person that's feeding, keep going, everybody. The person that's feeding, your job is to do a perfect chain punch right down center line. Okay, so Jean's going to come in. She's going to just go even, move in, step in a little bit. That's good. And right here, super slow. And on center every time. Okay, so super slow, everybody, is fine. All right, and Jean has a little bit of martial arts background, but she hasn't necessarily trained with me extensively, so she's doing a lot of movements, which I really appreciate that she doesn't have a ton of background on. But here at least you get to see, that's great. That's the movement. So that's the first one. So that's Jutsao. We're both doing that as it looked like most people were approaching it. We're doing that in our traditional stance. The trick question that I could ask you a few seconds ago was, and I've already told you this is a trick question. Who's training? And somebody who's uninitiated might say that the person who's doing the Jutsao is training, but that is in fact incorrect, okay? We're both training, and that's really important. So if you're doing this, you're the feeder, I don't want you to feel like you're not training. You're getting reps, developing those perfect chain punches, and both people are practicing dominating center line. That looks really nice, okay? And so if you're at home by yourself, I would go back and forth. I would work some of your chain punches and make sure you're feeling good about your form. And then I would express some Jutsaos in the air. Now, I mean, that's not the most satisfying thing in terms of if your other option is to have a partner, but it beats not doing it. At least this way we can get some training in. And then in the future, when things go back to normal and you're back in class, you can easily work that. Now, if you have two people at home that are working, that's awesome, okay? So the Jutsao is the first one. The second one is going to be the Tonsao. And when you Tonsao, you're going to Tonsao good. But I'm going to move you to inside because that's even going to refine it a little bit more. We're both training. She's training dominating center line. I'm training nullifying that chung choi or these chain punches with the insertion of my Tonsao. It's not combative at this point. I would think of this more like a two-person form. Because once again, this is attribute refinement and just center line domination. Yeah, Conrad, you look great training by yourself. Great. Okay, beautiful, beautiful job. Okay. Jopsao, please be kind because Jopsao is this outside chop. And if you have a partner, yeah, let's not beat each other up, right? It's so, I'm working with my wife. She's not made of glass, but if I abuse my partners don't want to train with me. So here, I'm looking for this. She's still training because she's training her straight blast. I'm training dominating center line with my Jopsao. I'm not going over. We both want to control center line. Nice. Okay, so let me see. If you're by yourself, get your Jopsao going without rotation. If you have a partner, let me see you dominate that feed of the straight blast with your Jopsao. Good. Nobody should be rotating, even if you have prior, that's it, beautiful. Even if you have prior martial arts training. Remember, this is attribute refinement. So if you're wondering, well, when are we going to generate power? Well, very soon. This modality is about refinement. Good. Okay, so the next one is going to be the Hunsao, the circling hand. This is going to have a slight Jopsao because you're intercepting, so it can't be pure Hunsao. It's going to have a little Jopsao as you intercept and scoot. Now your goal here, let the Hun exist. Don't overcompensate. Don't lift your elbow, just cut and flip, okay? And it might not feel like the most grandiose motion, But the grandiose motion is going to give you mechanics that you don't want. Because again, we're still in the drill phase where we're refining, okay? Nice. So here, the feed is the same. Like I said, it's got a little drops out, because I gotta meet it and then come in. I can't just like depend on my hoon. That's really gonna promote like lifting the elbow. So I gotta cut it into that hoon sao. But it's got a different energy than when I was just jopping by itself. I'm kind of cutting and scooping, cutting and scooping, cutting and scooping. Let me see that. Nice. Everybody looks great. Okay, really nice. Next one. Everybody's doing great. So that was Hun Sao. This one is probably going to be a little anticlimactic, but oh well. Pak Sao. Pak Sao. Not using slapping hand. Not using rotation. It's still cutting, but it's got a different energy than the Jop Sao. The Jop Sao just slices in and dominates center line. This is a refined slap. Don't push them too far beyond center line, because later in the art, there would be a consequence for that. We're learning how to refine this and hold center line. Okay, so just here, it's a slap, but it's on center line. We're both still training. The trick question I would ask a group, who's training in this relationship? And they would say me, the person doing the Pak Sao. We're both training. She wants to throw a perfect center line aligned vertical punch. I'm just cutting that with my Pak Sao. I want to aim for forearm instead of wrist, but it's that simple. Let me see some reps. Yep, beautiful. Again, Conrad, I know you're training by yourself. That looks great. That's what we do when we're by ourselves. Okay, and I'm in my apartment. I don't have a Wing Chun dummy available to me. If we had a dummy, we could use our dummy if we were training solo. That looks great. Okay, time. Very nice. This last drill in the drill section, we're going to standardize it on one side. Which is one person, and I'll break this down for you like Conrad if you're by yourself. One person's going to throw their right chung choi, and the other person's going to intercept it with their bong sao. Their other hand comes in. Let's move just a little closer, camera. The other hand comes in, and I'm going to lop and roll this over. And here's my chung choi. And then the other person's going to repeat that. We want to stay attached at the wrist and keep that connection. That's it. Very nice. Good. So this is what I like to call a circular drill, meaning I'm offense, the next beat I'm defense. I'm offense, and then I'm defense. And it, figuratively circles between those two roles until time is called. That looks really nice. Okay, time. Beautiful job. That's our bong sao, lop sao drill. I'm going to quickly go over this because I'm running out of time, but I want to give you this. Even if I need to go a couple minutes into JKD, I want this all in one place, in one recording. So we're gonna finish this. Right lead. Now we're in the trapping section. Number one, if you were in the kids section, is what we were working on is slap with your left, slap right here, slap here, and hit with your knife hand. Okay. So pak sat da. Just go. Okay, slap and hit with your knife hand. Okay, again, Jean is being very nice. She has a great movement background, just not necessarily in this. So I'm showing you one side of this. Normally, yeah, beautiful. I'm seeing some people working on it back and forth, which is what you do if you have a partner. If you're by yourself, you can just hold this and slap into that trap and just work your non-telegraphic. Don't move your right hand, but that looks really good. Okay, number 2, and I'm going a little fast because I'm a little over time. Start like 1, they cross center line to parry, insert your tonsao, and then lop and strike. Okay, so slap and hit, tonsao or showing hand, pull and hit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's where you want to be. Slap and hit, insert, pull and hit. Let me see everybody working on that. Nice. And that's great solo practice, Conrad. That's kind of what you can do right now. That looks sharp. Nice job. Okay, we're moving on. I know I'm going fast. I'll devote more time, but the group I have here, you're so good, you're picking it up. So there's 3. You've already done 2 of them. Number 3 is exactly like 2, but then I'm going to paksao and sut on the other side. So I insert my left tonsao, pak with the right, sut with the left. So I'm attacking the right side, inserting my tonsao, and finishing by scoring on the left. Okay? Paksao, insert my ton, and then pak sut da on the other side. Yeah, nice. So you start by attacking the right side of the body, you ton, and you use that as a bridge to attack the left side of your body. Okay, beautiful. Even though that was a little expedited, I've seen everybody rep it. You looked very good. Okay. The last thing, and we mostly got it in on time, the last thing is the gates. You know, Sifu Fong is very good friends with Guru Inosanto, and he's also very good friends with Ajahn Surachai Surizu, the president and the founder of the World Thai Boxing Association. The way we do gates in our group reminds me very much of a Wing Chun equivalent of something we have in the Thai Boxing Association called a 60-40 round, where you would have Thai pads, you have 3 minutes, you need to get 60 kicks and 40 knees during that 3-minute round. We call that a 60-40 round in Thai boxing. Here, you are required for your yellow belt, excuse me because I don't have this memorized, it's 150 punches, okay? So I'll bring Jean back in a second here. And quite simply, and I know this is all brand new to you, the feed, let me show you the feed from what you would be seeing, and then I'll show you what we work on. Single punches get fed high like this, and single punches get fed low like this. And what you're really looking to do when you're getting fed high, most of the time we're doing build-up to defend, right? If that person's swinging at me, I'm going high with my build-up. If they're giving me the low feed, then I'm doing my ganda, right? And then every now and then, so those are singles. So if you imagine, you know, boop, 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 timer goes off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are single punches. And usually we're doing bilda on the high line and ganda on the low line. You can also do tanda on the high line, but it's usually not as fast. Then, if your feeder goes like this, you're doing battle punches, boom, 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 as quickly as you can And that's how you're really getting your numbers up. What we'll normally do for this is we'll have one person counting punches audibly and one person counting punches silently. And then at the end of the round, those two people share the count that they got. And if you're joining us for JKD, give me 1 second. I promise we'll get into JKD in just a moment. I'm a couple minutes over time here. So if I was feeding your gates round, you know, everybody can actually do this. You can put everything down. If I was feeding your gates round, you know, we pay respects, boop, 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 the timer would go off. If I go here, you know, you have a bilda and then you're using your chung choi on this glove. Same thing here, 3, 4. If I go low, use your ganda, 5, 6, 7. You can feed on the same side, 8, 9. And then anytime you see me do this, you're gonna blast. And I'm trying, very nice. And I'm trying to count your punches. Again, there's an audible counter, somebody who's not your holder, as long as you have enough people. And then there's a silent counter who's also mentally counting as we go. And so for this very first level, it's 150 punches minimum in 3 minutes. So, you know, something you can do at home, if you have any kind of a punching bag, you can do an actual, like, or a bob dummy, you can do it on your punching bag. If you are lucky enough to be stuck, maybe stuck's the wrong word, blessed enough to be spending time with another person at home who knows how to feed you and you have focus mitts, you can actually practice it, and your feeder can try to keep a count, even though that's kind of wearing multiple hats at the same time. And you can also just do it by yourself in the air and try to keep a count. Those are all great ways to kind of prep for this. But the idea, again, is that you're using Wing Chun techniques to hit something. And not only are you hitting something, you're using, you know, Wing Chun techniques in some kind of a cardio-informed environment. And that's the idea with gates. Okay, so I hope that is the yellow belt requirements in their entirety. You know, last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to end this recording. And Ivan, thanks for bearing with me. I'm a little late here. These classes, again, this is my 30 seconds of sales pitch here. My plan is to keep these classes, these public classes, going Mondays and Wednesdays so that tons of content is being generated and generated for people for free, even after things get back to normal. That is my current plan. The only thing that might change over time is the schedule, based on, you know, what's going on or where I'm teaching or something like that. But right now I really like this. I do have some options that are paid options if you would like to actually earn rank from me. And there are some additional resources. There's a members only class that's once a week. And there's a million video resources, and I will make some more information on that available over the next couple days. There's no pressure. If you want to stay with the free public classes, I would love to have you keep participating, because I was having kind of another off day today, and martial arts has done that thing where I'm all kind of happy now. So I very much enjoy teaching these classes. Okay, anyways, let's bow. Wing Chun out. Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian, French and Dog Brothers, Japanese. Thanks everybody for joining me for Wing Chun. I'm going to end this